It looks like it's pulled up now. Mic check.
Yeah.
Excellent. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Transient Presents, episode 2 of Rat in a Cage. I'm your host, Transient, also going to be called the Warden tonight for storytelling purposes. And joining me tonight, as always, is my first player and co-host and co-runner of Transient Presents now, Marlo Bogwis. You can find them at Twitter. Yeah, sorry, brain fart. At Twitter at Marlo Bogwitch. That's with 2 G's, like Snoop Dogg. Tell everyone where you're at and where to find you. I know that your playing shows has gone down a little bit.
Yeah, so I am here. I'm also over on Featherfall every other Saturday, and I think our next one is this Saturday. I have to check with them because we missed our normal Saturday. It was supposed to be last Saturday. We are playing a 5e campaign over there called the Gateway Wars. I am playing a College of Nightmares bard who is it's a little spooky, other than that, I don't really have anything else going on at the moment as far as streaming. Usually I'm a very busy person, but I have a certification exam coming up. So, and since I finished my master's, I am not very good at studying anymore. I've forgotten how. So I'm freaking out, but it's okay.
Exams are lame anyway. And joining us again is our newest cast member. Well, our newest from season 1 and just a cast member now. I think I said that last episode too. Is Nico. You can find them on Twitter at Satan Solarist. They will be playing Spider Lee tonight. Go ahead and tell everyone how you are and where to find you, Nico. May have been muted. Nico. While they get some stuff situated and sorted out on their end. Marlo, why don't you... Oh, what does that say?
Frozen? Something about Frozen? Zoom Frozen. Ah.
That makes a lot more sense. So everyone knows we have switched things around. So shout out to at Red Mage Ray, the awesome Ray from Frenzy Roll Dice and everything else who's producing this in the background. So we're trying to get the hiccups on that situated and sorted out. This is the first time doing it crosswise like this. So it'll get sorted out here in a minute and everything will go smoothly, I'm sure. A lot more smoothly than if I was doing it anyway. But Nico, if you can hear us, I don't know if Zoom will let you unmute it, but it looks like we can still see you for the most part. Or if you need to exit and rejoin. In the meantime, Marlo, if you want to reintroduce people to Audrey, who may have missed our first episode.
Sure. So Audrey is a let me think about this, how to explain this. As far as the audience knows, Audrey is we have 2 Nikos now. We have the Frozen one. We have a doppelganger situation, friends.
Nico, move your face. Is that your real face?
They do not have a goatee, so we can be assured that this is the true Nico. I'm not sure we can hear you, Nico. I can't.
Yeah, we can't hear you. It might have switched mics on you because you're not muted now. It is all good.
So Audrey is a no, we can't hear you still. Audrey is she's a young woman. I don't know. She's got the gift of gab. She's very she's able to talk her way out of things, but she's also not quite the social she's a sociopath. Let's just go ahead and say it. But she's a cult leader. She was a cult leader. And that didn't end very well. So she's here because the government stepped in. Yeah, she's just, kind of having fun. Kind of like someone just took the muzzle off of the mad dog here, and she's really, really enjoying herself, getting to do some things, but also frightened and also, nervous and also concerned that she will probably not make it out of this. So, yeah.
That one was on me. I just had the chat open. She got a pretty significant injury last time. If you want to tell them about your encounter with the neurosalamander.
Yeah, it melted my arm off. That was fun.
You seem disappointed.
No, I'm not disappointed. I think it's going to be an interesting injury. It's going to make the rest of the story incredibly interesting. But I was rolling really bad last time, so hopefully this time we'll get that fixed.
Hopefully. And I don't think you'll be as bad off as you think here at the beginning of the episode. So, Nico, how you doing?
I wonder if it's something we need to get.
That's better, hopefully, yes?
Yes, that is.
I somehow need or some shit the mute button on the headset. Hi.
Hello.
That was ridiculous.
All is well, everyone. Please welcome back Nico. You can find them on Twitter at Satan Solarist. Now tell everyone how you are, where to find you, and a little bit about Spider Lee.
I'm doing okay. I am here for the most part. Transient presents stuff. I'm writing. Links to all that stuff is on Satan Solarist. Spider is a thief raised by thieves. And he has some complications. He may have done something other than thieving that is coming back to fuck him. And really, probably prison is one of the safer places for him right now. The outside world is really not a safe zone for Spider Lee. It's not so much a sociopath in that regard, just more of a product of his environment. He will absolutely shank you in the back if he thinks that you're a danger to him, but he's going to feel bad about it afterward. And he will absolutely loot your corpse and not feel at all bad about it.
That may be a beneficial personality trait in their current situation. All right.
Now guilt later. Sorry, go ahead.
I found a little note when I pulled up our cult reference sheet that says dice ? So I guess I'm supposed to remind you to pull out your dice since we're using live dice.
Oh, I have them.
What is that movie where the person leaves like tattoos themselves in these little notes everywhere because they don't remember anything.
Memento.
Yeah, I imagine that's going to be me in another, like, 2 years.
I'll leave my Christopher Nolan hot takes off stream.
I was gonna say 50 first dates, but then you said tattoos, and I was like, oh yeah, no, that didn't happen.
Oh, whole different theme. I don't like spam that much either. All right. Lastly, the main role, or the last two roles, which are played by myself, besides the storyteller and parts of all NPCs. The main antagonist is the Warden, who has had some interaction with our inmates already. They are a plague mask wearing eccentric person, we should say. And the entire thing going on here seems to be some kind of game that they have orchestrated for our inmates. And lastly, the final member of Gold Team to aid Audrey and Spider is Lucy Firebug Colvert, who was just named Firebug last time I named my character. She is a teenager charged with arson for burning down several schools and several people perishing as a result of it. She helped kill Red Team, as Gold Team now has one team kill, but no creature kills. Now, before we start, we're going to do a loadout equipment check, which we'll do at the start of each episode to ensure everyone's keeping track of everything properly, and also so I can gauge things properly. So starting with Audrey, can I get the equipment you currently have and the amount of ammunition you have?
So I have down that I have a taser. I have handcuffs, gloves, a radio. The pepper spray I gave to Spider, and they used it on the other Red Team member, so we no longer have that. Mark that bad boy off. Then from the group of dead that were killed by the salamander that we found, I think they either killed us. Yeah, we did flak vest, AR-15, and then I gave the flak vest to Firebug though. I wrote it all down, even if I didn't keep it. I know we talked at the end about switching the AR-15 for the handgun.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, and then I also had chat open again, so I'm just going to stop opening Zoom chat because it disables the spacebar. But yes, you and Spider traded the AR and the sidearm that they had because you lost your arm and thus can't effectively use the AR anymore.
Yeah. That would be rough.
Okay, Spider, what do you got?
I've got my personal shiv. I have the modded shiv, a partially used med kit, lock picks, a headlamp, and the AR-15 with, at this point, 28 rounds in a magazine.
And we said that was 5.56 NATO. You will find other weapons that use other ammunition types, so be sure that you're using right ammunition for right weaponry. I think you just had a standard Glock 17, Audrey, if I'm remembering correctly. And we'll give a full magazine, so 17 rounds. Well, was it? Yeah, 17 rounds. Firebug has one flak vest, one remaining Molotov, a lighter, and a shiv. One of you has the key. Which one of you has the door key?
Which one of us picked that up? I don't recall.
We can
It says,
say.
my note says it's on Audrey.
Okay.
Okay.
And I've got the, I think one of the shivs is a silver blade.
Right, it was a hiltless silver blade. Yeah.
That I wrapped.
Yeah.
Okay, now that all of our notes match up, I'm ready to get started if you are.
Did I say radio? I don't recall saying that.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm ready.
As the three of you settled in for the night on the 33rd floor, nestling into the small room where you could see both the exit door and the large hole in the wall, you went about your plan of setting up Spider as first watch, while Audrey and Firebug rested. Spider, how long would you have had first watch be before waking up Firebug?
Like 2 hours.
At the end of your 2-hour watch, Firebug wakes up and smoothly transitions watch with you, allowing you to get rest. Audrey, you sleep far deeper than one would expect you to, given your injury and the current state of things around you. Slowly, you awaken into what is surely a dream, as darkness seems to be mostly what is around you. In the distance, you can hear the voice. It calls to you to walk east, and in that direction, you see a glimmer of red flame. Other voices call to you from the west. They are many, and they whisper to you things that you may have forgotten. Things done to those who once followed you, spoken in their own words. It seems like you can go where you choose.
The voice at the beginning told me that the way that I came from was the right way because it was the way that I came from. And the way that I came from is the way of my people. And I let out a sigh as I walked that direction towards them, towards their voices.
As you make your way towards their voices, you begin to hear more of their accusations about the falsehoods that you told them and the paths that you led them on. The voices become mingled with the report of weapons, the smell of dirt on training fields and behind fields unknown to the watching eyes, at least of the government, at least to you at the time. Again, the sound of the crowbar coming down and seeking out your vengeance for crimes committed onto you and reflected onto someone who did not commit them. You eventually reach a small box lit from beneath so that it glows up into the darkness and provides about a 6 diameter ring of light. The box is old and weathered as though it's been underwater for quite some time. There is a lock, but it is undone.
I'm going to open that box.
Opening the box, you see the folded uniform of your old cult you led. It is definitely yours, though neatly pressed and ready for what you anticipated to come one day, though you didn't get a chance to fully utilize it. Beneath the uniform seems to be some kind of rusty metal rigged prosthetic that matches the lost limb from the salamander. Its hand ends in a kind of mannequin type form, though the thumb, pinky, and ring finger are missing. Tips of the two last fingers have been removed and replaced by what look like thin key cards. There's nothing else in the box.
I'm going to remove the prosthetic and fit it onto my arm.
It will fit snugly, and though there are not straps for it, you will feel it suddenly bite down into your flesh and then into the bone, hooking and digging itself so that it connects permanently.
Oh.
You have gained access to all gold doors and all red doors that you encounter.
As it bites through my flesh and into the bone, I wince and double over, and as I look back at it and pull it back up into my view, I turn it left and right. And in my mind, I think, this is good. This is right.
The voice is quiet around you, and the singular voice seems to agree. It was not its first decision, but it is one that will help you further your goals. You choose to leave the uniform.
I'll take it, but I won't put it on.
As you pull it out of the box, your vision will begin to sway and fade as though you're sinking into water yourself, and it will wash away your consciousness and return you to the darkness that got you here. You both will be awakened by a sudden explosion between Audrey and Spider as the back wall of the room you're in is blown out. Firebug quickly can be heard yelling and then panicking as you awaken to see her being pulled through the wall by two men in full flak uniforms and blacked out helmets.
Grab her?
Yeah.
Where would you like to grab on? Her upper torso is currently halfway through the wall. Her arms are being held, one by each man. She looks between you. Get these fuckers off of me!
Okay, then instead of... they're in flak jackets. I'm gonna grab her legs.
And they're wearing helmets too, right?
Yes.
I'm going to try. So the helmets, are they full face helmets, or do they have like a SWAT team like visor that's over them?
They're not even SWAT grade. They're more like correctional riot gear, safety class.
I'm going to grab the Glock and turn it and try to hit him with the grip on the visor.
You engage in combat?
Both are just Marlo.
What?
Just Audrey.
Okay.
Your action is free. You grab hold of the legs and begin to pull, which allows her to kind of wiggle one of her arms free. Though they grab her shoulder, she tries to dig the Molotov out of her coat.
I'm not crazy. It's 2d10.
Oh, it's Poseidon.
Is it 15?
Much better tonight. As you bring the butt of the pistol around to connect with the front of his visor, it will strike in the perfect spot shattering it into his face and causing him to stumble back as his nose breaks and splatters blood down his jaw.
Call me Knuckles. Unlike
You
Sonic, I
bitch.
don't chuckle.
He'll quickly raise a submachine gun that has been strapped near his right hip. You can avoid harm if you react quickly.
Yes. I'm going to try to... Now, I now have that prosthetic, though. That was like a for real. Did I get that?
Looking down to where the prosthetic will be, you do not see it, but you feel the presence of weight, as though something is attached to the end of your arm.
Okay. I think instinctively, since I have the gun in my right hand and just hit and pulled back, I'm going to throw my left arm up and try to like knock his arm out of the way to keep him from bringing it up farther.
Engage in combat rather than avoid harm.
Oh, what's this? 15. Yes.
As you swing your arm around, it'll be in time with him raising the submachine gun so that your arm connects with his wrist at the spot where his armor stops and his glove begins. Something will get stuck and cut deeply into the ligament and bone there, and you'll feel your arm kind of resist as the momentum of it slams the submachine gun into the wall and slices through half of his wrist, causing him to shout out in pain. Though there is nothing to be seen attached to your arm, blood does drip from the invisible area around it.
Well, that was fucking creepy. Come on, kid.
Taking the opportunity, Firebug pulls out her Molotov and lights the cloth on it. The other guard panics as she smashes it back into his face, her jacket lighting on fire as she stumbles forward out of their arms.
Well, I'm letting go of her legs and rolling her.
She will thank you as the fire is put out and quickly get up. Let's get the fuck out of here. She'll start moving towards the door. The man who's on fire will panic, patting at himself, while the one whose wrist has been sliced halfway open will do their best to pick up their SMG with the other hand and try and climb through the hole after the three of you.
I'm following Firebug at that door.
Same.
You both do your best to avoid harm as the armored one comes through the hole and quickly fires off a few rounds after you.
16.
14.
The rounds skip across the floor and into the wall around you, but thankfully miss all three of you as you make it out into the hallway full of bodies and slag from the salamander. You may re-enter the exit stairwell or try to make your way further through floor 33.
More likely to evade the motherfucker if we go down.
Yeah, whatever. I'm following.
As the three of you quickly go down, it'll be just as the armored one comes out into the hallway themselves. They'll look around a bit and then go down the hall rather than entering the emergency well. You make your way down from floor 33 back to where you started on floor 32. Your drone, who seemed to have left you during rest, is hovering there as though having expected you to go this path. It buzzes, and as Spider waves, it will eject its small arm from the bottom and wave back at them. Good morning. The warden's face will shift, or so much as a mask can be a face, will shift onto the front of the drone. I see the three of you are doing quite well, living at least.
We're doing better than expected, I would say.
That is definitely true. I had you marked She'll look at some paper on her desk for a moment. Has 3 hours. You've made it 8 hours. Quite impressive, really. With that being said, we're going to make some changes because those odds are not very good for my system. So if you will please spread yourselves out in a kind of shoulder-to-shoulder line for me. The drone will move back and then up a little ways, kind of getting centered.
Why?
It will make things much easier.
For you or for us? Because there's only one of those answers I'm actually fucking interested in.
I think it's subjective.
Yeah, I subjectively would very much like any advantage I can get and would like you to have as few as possible. That's more of an objective determination.
Perhaps it will help if I show you the team web. She'll move over and there'll be a large poster board behind her of several strings and the team names. You see, we start off with many teams, and now we only have a few teams left. To fix this, I have to curate the team and call the packs. And to begin with the calling, one of you who hasn't been doing so well is going to be removed so that I can combine gold and silver teams into one team, making your team 3 from 3 to 4 effectively, if you can find silver.
And by remove, you mean?
Roll to avoid harm. Whoever's standing closest to Firebug, which would be Spider, because he went out after her.
10.
A small hole opens in the front of the drone just above the camera screen, and a suppressed shot rings out as a shell casing falls to the ground. A small laceration opens in your cheek as the round passes by and penetrates between Firebug's eyes, snapping her head back and dropping her to the ground. Her gold rings will flash 3 times and then completely go out. The gold rings on both of your right arms will go out. I missed. Oh well. Silver team is located 4 floors below you. They currently have 2 rocket-propelled grenades, 2 AK-47s, and 1 full armor kit. Their members are Rodrigo Brown and Jamie C. Weatherford.
She was fine. She was doing fine.
All things considered, I don't think that she was, Ms. Kemp.
Okay, well, we'll find the rest of the silver team.
Quite. Always a good inmate to have around, Ms. Kemp. She will smile at Spider. You had a desire for more equipment to aid you last time we had our encounters. I seem to remember being quite adamant about being prepared. There are many things inside of my prison, and eliminating these things will earn you those better trophies. Why don't I introduce you to one? Remember, 4 floors down. Good luck. The screen will flicker off, and as it does so, a silver ring, like the gold one on your left arm, will illuminate around your right. It'll flash 3 times, and then become solid.
Should have asked if they're expecting us. They have a lot of gear. It might be dangerous.
They do, and it probably is. Like, do they even know we're Silver Team, actually?
The drone will raise itself above you into its normal camera position, and then the full prison announcement will begin. The Watcher has been released onto the 32nd floor. There are currently 2 teams on floor 32. Floor 31, emergency exit has been sealed. Floor 32, emergency exit has been sealed. Floor 32, alternative exit has been opened.
Want to stay on 33, or do we go on 32 and try to find the alternate exit?
We're on 32, aren't we? Didn't we move
You're
We're
down?
between
currently-
33 and 32.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever we're gonna run into, we probably want to be with Silver when it happens.
There's 1 team remaining on floor 32. Congratulations, Watcher.
Okay. Said 28, so I guess we keep going.
Yeah.
As you move down and into floor 32 for the alternate exit, in the distance of the halls, you can hear the cries of what you suspect were the team that was just eliminated and the team running from whatever has just been released. You hear a strange sound of machinery and also the rending of metal on bone. In the distance of the first exit, as you come into the hall, you can see the next exit sign. It goes down approximately 100 meters and turns right. You don't know what's after the curve. There are 2 hallways in between then and there, or here and there. The sounds echo too much to be sure which hall they actually come from.
See what's around the curve?
Yes.
Proceeding down past the alternative hallways, you reach the curve to the right. Assuming you cautiously peek around the corner, you can make out the tail end of something very large moving from that hallway into a connected room. It is humanoid in shape, but quite bulky. Like its body is a grotesque amalgamation of too much muscle and skin that doesn't fit right onto it. It drags behind it some kind of mechanized blade that digs a deep groove into the ground and seems connected to its body in the same way that your invisible prosthetic is connected to you, Audrey. Same arm as well. It doesn't seem to notice the 2 of you peeking around, and you hear a shout from the room before it moves with surprising speed inside, and the sound of a wall crumbling as it uses that large blade of his upon whoever was in there.
Okay, I'm crouching down but moving quickly as I can, quietly, to get past that door and around the corner.
Yeah. Same.
Thief mode, bitches.
You both do your best to act under pressure as you attempt to sneak past the room where the Watcher awaits.
21. Blackjack.
11.
Panda covered in tin cans.
Spider, you slip past the door like a ghost in the breeze and are not noticed at all. You make your way to the end of the hallway where it turns left again, and you can see the exit door for the stairs. Audrey, you make your way slowly down the hall, And as you are passing the door, the strange weight of your new invisible prosthetic shifts a little bit and bumps the wall that you're trying to slide past. Being such a strange metal, it scrapes loudly as it passes against the wall, even as you attempt to quickly pull it back.
I visibly wince when Captain Shitkicker fucks up.
The Watcher turns and its blade severs the wall cleanly, where your prosthetic scraped against it, passes through like a hot knife through butter, and then slides back into the room slowly. Nothing comes out of the room, and you manage to make it to where Spider is.
Maybe a little louder next time.
As I make it to Spider, I am not breathing. And finally, as I get there, just like motioning towards the like lack of arm. like I'm telling like this thing it dragged against the wall. Oh yeah, that doesn't make any sense because you can't see it.
As you're trying to explain through motions to Spider, whoever was in the room will come running out of it. One of their arms is also missing, but at the shoulder, as well as a large chunk having been removed from their torso. They fall to the ground and scramble back to their feet in panic as they try to get away, and quickly look at the two of you with wide eyes. You have a moment to react.
What color is their armband?
Their armband is green.
Gun up, backing away.
Yeah.
As you slowly begin to back away, they'll reach out their hand and begin to move towards you, desperate for help but unable to speak because of how severe their injuries are. They'll stumble, and that stumble will be too much as the Watcher exits the room, and with a motion far quicker than his body should allow, brings the blade around and through them, severing their spine and pinning them through the ground with the full 8-foot length of the blade. The Watcher stands nearly 10 feet tall, his shoulders brushing the ceiling, an abomination of flesh and skin, its face a sewn together mass of a single eye high upon its skull. His eye swivels around and then looks in your direction just as you pass the corner and out of its sight. You hear the ring of its blade pull out slightly and then get stuck, and then the rev of a motor and the smell of burning gas as it revs the machination to rip the blade back out of the body in the ground. It turns and goes the opposite direction to find the rest of Green Team.
Keep on trucking.
How can we hear it leaving that space where it was killing the Green Team member?
I'd imagine so. It's pretty big.
I reach out and touch Spider's shoulder and then put my finger up and then peek around the corner to make sure it's out of sight. And then go back to the Green Team member's corpse as quietly as possible to gather whatever materials they had.
I'm going to move as quickly as I can, but quietly, and kind of motion Audrey off and start quietly removing whatever they've got on them. Fucking ham hands. Excuse me, hand.
Except it's metal. It's a metal ham.
It's not a hand. No metal, no hand.
You find 3 incendiary grenades, 2 flashbangs, another 9mm pistol with 2 magazines. You also find an additional key card for all gold doors, providing Spider with access to all gold doors that you encounter.
You said flashbang 9mm.
Incendiary grenade.
Incendiary. 2 of those flashbangs, 2 incendiary.
Yep.
What it was. Okay.
1 each.
Yeah, I would say so. And then I'll let you have the 9mm since I already have it. Or I won't argue with you. You have it. She found it.
The drone will position itself just as you distribute your loot. And as you stand back up and kind of are standing on either side of the body, it'll snap its picture, blinding you as always with the flash in the darkness. Oh, that one's nice. I think I'll frame it. The voice of the warden says to the speaker as QB903 floats back up above you and goes back to watching in the dark.
Damn it, QB.
I am bang bang illiterate. What's the 9mm hold?
Standard magazine should be 17 rounds. So now you both have a 9mm. If you distribute the magazines across from each other, so yeah, so you should each have one full mag with 17 in the weapon and then another full mag of 17. Would you like to explore the rest of the floor to see what other loot you can get, or do you want to just avoid the Watcher?
I think we can probably do at least one room. We're going to run into some shit regardless, so whether or not it's the Watcher, it's going to be some fucking thing else. Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic or some shit. I'd like to be able to shoot them.
Well, the warden said it'd be worth it if we killed the Watcher, so even if the Watcher finds us, we might die. One of us might die, but the other one might get some loot.
And, we're probably not going to kill it with what we've got right now, so more shit.
I have the card if we want to get into a minibus. So you have the room to your right now where the green team member came out of, or you can proceed back down the hallway where you came from, and turning back left, you'll have the 2 additional halls, one right and one left, that you can go down.
Well, the room it just came out of is the room it's least likely to go back into. So,
entering the small room, you find that it's kind of office, though the desk has been destroyed by the Watcher's blade at some point. The green team member's arm and chunk of torso is also laying close to the desk, as this is where the injury was inflicted and obviously just left there to rot at some point. There's a door on the back wall behind the desk. And though it has no label on it, it very much looks like an old office door one would see in a kind of noir detective movie. The glass plate front. It has a red keycard slot to the right of it.
I'm going to go to that door and try to remembering how my hand looked in the dream. Try to run my finger over the key card slot or whatever. Is it a key card or a touchpad?
This one will be a key card slide.
I'm trying to judge it and trying to feel with my phantom limb, where is this?
Scrapes will begin to kind of groove themselves into the metal of the keypad, but eventually something that would feel like your middle finger will hook into it and slide sharply down with a sudden momentum that will throw off your balance for a moment. There will be a beep and the door will unlock, opening slightly for you.
The fuck?
I told you, this arm. I had a dream. I got an arm and it has key cards on the fingers, and I'm moving my arm around I'm gesturing with it to show them, but I'm not. There's nothing there.
I haven't had any hooch in 3 days. Okay. After you.
I'm stepping in.
You step into the room and find it is quite comfortable. There are soft chairs for you to sit in. There's a fridge that seems to be fully stocked with more than just toilet-made hooch. There is no television, but there is a radio and a small screen set into a center table in the middle of the room. As you enter, the lights flicker on and the screen illuminates, showing you the rest of the floor, but from an above perspective. You see green lights moving through the darkness, and every once in a while, the flash of the Watcher's blade as it's proceeding after them. Spider, as you enter the room as well, the door will close behind you and lock once more. The drone will beep, land upon the ground, and seem to shut down, pulling its routers in and becoming just a basketball-sized round of metal. You have 30 minutes to rest and relax.
I'm gonna kick it into a corner and then eat.
Yeah. Sit down and try to find a like just get comfortable for a minute and like watch the screen as these green folks are about to get annihilated.
It seems that the floor layout here is quite simple. It is a kind of trident of hallways, with the center hallway being the one that you first entered from the initial exit door. It's the one that comes down and then leads to the right, and then would sharply lead back down towards the exit door. The other two halls seem to come up towards the initial exit and then converge back upon each other into some hidden room space. There are no visible doors to get into this room space, but it is clearly there from the above camera view. Eventually, you watch as the green ringlets kind of corral themselves into the central hallway without meaning to, as they'd been split up for quite some time, unaware of the Watcher, which sits in a room beside the wall. Watches the Watcher with more thought than one would expect from the creature, raises its blade and runs the black nail of one finger down the sharp edge of it. Though it lacerates its own skin, the deep black ichor seems to pool rather than blood. As it savors the kill it's about to get. The voice whispers to you words of encouragement about the creature, about where it's come from, and about the way that it can serve the red. And as the voice tells you these things, the rip of machinery and heavy engine work fills the room as it echoes around the hallway, and you watch as the creature raises its blade and slams it down through the wall, cleanly slicing through, decapitating both Green Team members at the same time. Green Team has been eliminated. Congratulations, Watcher. Exit to floor 32 has been unsealed. Watcher now has access to all floors.
It doesn't know we're here, so it's probably going to go, and there's nobody else here, so it's probably going to go elsewhere. I say we take this floor for all it's worth.
Absolutely. Yeah. It looks like the way these converge, there's a secret space here or something. And I point to where the two hallways converge.
I'm game.
I'm going to continue to watch the monitor, waiting to see what the Watcher does, if I can tell.
The Watcher will seem to slice its way out of the room and then step forward in the hall. As the green ringlets flicker out, you see that the Watcher is picking up the two bodies, and rather than eat them or carry them away, it seems to open up some layer of its own flesh and stuff them inside, where the muscle quickly encroaches upon them, crushes them within it and adds to its mass. It groans and makes the ground tremble, even in the room that you're in, before it churns and slowly makes its way out to 432. It's unclear which floor it will go to next.
Udapalooza.
You have 15 minutes remaining on your rest break, or you can cut it short.
I'm ready to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab some extra like provisions out of this room.
Oh yeah, I'm gutting the refrigerator.
Yeah.
I have to stuff shit in my shirt. I'll do that.
It will slow you down, but you're able to carry as much bottled water and or alcohol as you can on your person. There is also enough rationed food that will stay good on your person for at least the 5 days that you have to make it out of the prison.
I'll put a couple of bottles in my shirt, tuck it in, put some food in my pockets. I don't want to, go overboard, but sufficient.
I look at the bottle, one of the bottles, and like nod. Firebug would have loved this. We should have gotten her flak jacket off of her and puts it in my pocket.
Yeah. Moment of weakness. Let's try to minimize those.
Definitely.
Good job with that green team, asshole. That kind of mindset we need to be in here.
When you're all geared, and all you have to do is initiate the door opening sequence again. I just want to make sure you have enough time to fully plan what you might want to. These are your only safe zones. Red rooms are your only safe zones.
And you said there was a radio as well. Is it a handheld like walkie-talkie type radio, or is it like a?
It is like a AM/FM radio.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think that's it. I think we'll leave at this point.
As you unlock the door once more, since you have to slide your key card to get out as well, the drone will light back up and float back into the air above you, following you back out. The lights will turn off, enveloping you in darkness besides Spider's headlamp. And the game begins again.
Look at the drone and say, let's go, Dream Team.
Very nice. Gold Team has been now nicknamed Dream Team. The announcement echoes that.
I'm going to head for that convergent spot of those two hallways to kind of see if I can figure out what's there.
As you go to the converging spot, you will encounter a door, not a door, a wall, which definitely seems out of place, both in texture and in depth, if that makes sense. As though it is further back than the walls around it. Yet also in line, you do your best to see through the veil. Spider, you may as well if you're close enough.
$15.
7.
Gosh, I thought we were on a good roll today.
She givey, she takey.
Audrey, looking at the wall, you realize that if you moved forward, you could likely make this another hallway by just facing left or right and go around it to the room you had been seeing.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Spider, as Audrey steps forward and then suddenly churns as though walking into an unseen space between the walls, you begin to feel something moving beneath your feet, as though crawling up your legs slowly from the ground below.
start slapping my leg.
As you slap your leg, you seem to pop something with an almost water balloon consistency, and your headlamp illuminates on many small spiders, which begin to rush up your arm and into the sleeves of your clothing.
I strip off the shirt and slap in the and head towards Audrey. That. Nope, 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 nope.
As you move towards Audrey, slapping the spiders off of you, they seem to burrow themselves into your skin and beneath the surface, and then go smooth as though they're hidden somewhere in there. And as you move around into the hidden room, you find that you are now okay. The spider's now gone. Yet you have a deep itch within you. That was unfortunate. But a fitting result, right? Inmate spider? The drone will buzz around from behind the wall into the room where the two
Fuck
of you
off.
are. Oh.
What
It will
happened?
The room you stand in is larger than you'd expect from what you saw from above. And strangely empty. There are no furniture or anything, and the walls are exactly like the floor, slate gray concrete. Carved in the center of the floor is a ring 15 feet in diameter. It's at least 4 inches deep into the concrete. Symbols seem to be carved in the size of quarter coins around its edge and then spiraling towards its center, uniform, perfect, all the way to the middle, where a single eye watches bejeweled in rubies. The drone hovers above this, snaps a picture, and then moves to the corner to set itself down and turn off.
Rubies?
Yes.
Noted.
Oh, that's lovely, but what good does it do us in here?
I'm getting out of here.
As you turn back to the wall, you see that you can definitely move back around it into the hallway where you were. If you turn away, Audrey, the voice will whisper into the back of your mind, but its words will be unclear. It's like a pressure.
No, wait. And I turn and like start inspecting it deeper, trying to see if I can determine anything from the symbols or anything about the eye.
You begin to investigate. Spider, the deep itch within you calms some, but you still do not feel quite right. It is not in a way that something has burdened you, but in a way that something is changing within you. There's a new tension in your muscles. You feel a little quicker, but also a little more on edge. You'll lose 1 stability, but you'll gain +2 to all combat rolls until your next rest.
I got 13.
You may choose to ask 1 question.
What is the purpose of this?
Your experience with the voice and the red in your cult has prepared you to look upon such things and to hear the voice for what it is. As you look into the eye, There'll be a brief moment before it seems to be looking back at you and expand your understanding. It appears to be a gateway of some kind. One of the rubies is missing from just above the pupil. Another gem seems to be need to be slotted where the pupil is. If placed, it likely can take you somewhere outside of the prison, though its location is not guaranteed to be safe.
It's a portal. But it's missing something. And I indicate what's the missing pieces of jewel.
Like the cake is a lie portal?
Sorta. Yeah. It would take us somewhere. I'm not sure where.
So find a ruby.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at that.
Huh. Well, if we find it, we know where to bring it. But I don't know what's on the other side.
Possibly not this. Good enough for me.
Well, out of the frying pan into the fryer.
Spider.
Yup.
Fire. I said fryer. I meant fire. Sorry.
Let's call the whole
As you
thing
discuss the ruby, your thief senses and memory for seeing such things brings up what you saw earlier, and you do your best to observe the situation and match up memory with what you're seeing now.
17.
You recall that you have seen a ruby. It is when you looked upon the true face of the Watcher as it ended the life of the first Green Team member. Its blade had a single ruby embedded into the edge of it, halfway up the 8-foot blade.
The Watcher's got the ruby.
Well, if we can find the Watcher, then we can attempt to kill it, but I'd say we probably need to find the rest of the team. They had much higher caliber weaponry.
Plus, more people.
True.
The drone will buzz back to life and float up and around the portal for a moment. Is the Dream Team changing objective? It will turn to look at the two of you.
I wasn't aware that we documented or entered into file any specific flight plan, Your Honor. We're surviving.
Survival for you is an experiment. For us, everything must be recorded.
Cool. That's what we're doing. So, no, there's not a change in plans. We're getting the fuck out of here.
Oh. Oh. The drone will buzz a little lower and then look back at the portal. Okay. You're muted.
Not even necessarily through this, just the fuck out.
Right. Well, rubies may not be the best solution for finding ways out, but I'm just a drone. The little arms will come out and shrug a little bit, and then go back in.
It sounds like something that somebody who didn't want us to go out this way would say.
That sounded pretty fucking transparent to me. Oh, you don't want to do that. You don't know. Yeah, fuck you. Let's go find Silver.
Oh, to listen to the wisdom of cult leaders, the drone will say as it buzzes out around the corner into the hallway.
Better than the wisdom of fucking cracked up basketballs.
Audrey looks at it. Nobody's supposed to know that, but she doesn't say anything.
It will wait.
See, real quick.
Hmm? Oh, you're muted again.
So I've got a pre-session thing to do with Sixth Sense. Do we want to just say that was foregone this route, or pause for a second and run it?
You can pause and run it.
Cool. Rolling plus soul. My instincts will fail to trigger in a dangerous situation, and you will make a move sometime in the session. Yay!
Excellent.
Should just not done that one this time.
That would have been better had I not rolled like you last session.
Wonderful. And I have 40 minutes left too.
Fuck. Remember, kids, sometimes it's best just to keep your fucking mouth shut.
Let me, were the two of you wanting to loot the rest of the floor?
Yes.
Yeah.
While I pull out the book here, why don't you go ahead and we'll say it's an investigation roll, and we'll take out the questions, and that's how I'll determine what all you find. It should be safe to explore at least this floor.
Eight.
Just waiting for both.
18.
I see you got better dice.
Than me.
Sorry, I'm trying to pick just the right thing that I want to pull out.
Yeah.
Oh yes, a Karath, K-Rath sounds good. Okay, so as you search the halls, luckily, though Spider is usually the one able to find these things, Audrey and Spider working together happens to find quite a bit of equipment. You find that the two dead green members left behind at least one full left at least 30 rounds of 5.56 for the AR-15. There's another incendiary grenade. There is one fragmentation grenade. Moving into the other hallways, you find several dead COs, but they've been looted. You also find one dead CO geared for riot. They have a shield that you may choose to take. They also have 2 riot ball grenades, which are rubber ball pellets. They also have 2 sets of zip cuffs.
How much would riot armor impact my ability to stay fast and quiet?
It's going to make it a little harder to stay quiet, and it's going to slow you down. I wouldn't say significantly, because I imagine Spider is somewhat conditioned, but it's still going to slow you down a bit with your weaponry.
Take the armor. I got both my hands, like, actually.
Yeah, that shield's not going to be very useful to me. The only thing I could carry.
Yep.
I mean, you've got like a blade arm. So,
Yeah.
okay, so leaving shield, taking right here. Are you leaving the grenade?
Oh, we're taking that grenade.
Taking her.
There's no.
Okay. Zip cuffs, are those being taken or held?
Taken.
Yeah.
I'll take her.
Okay. You find little else on the floor, on this floor, other than a dead salamander. It's kind of a charred husk and quite flat as they're deflated. You do find on the salamander that part of its hide is still intact towards its tail, showing quite a bit of solid plate scaling. It may be able to remove it if you slice carefully.
Why not? I did some time as a prep cook.
We'll just do just a standard roll. I don't know what the good action for that would be, so we'll just roll and see what you get.
11.
That's good enough. You'll tear it a little bit, but manage to get the full chunk of it at least. It seems quite sturdy, almost more reinforced than the riot gear you now wear. This floor now clear, you're free to move down if you so choose.
Cool.
You want to move down through the initial main exit or through the secondary exit that was opened up?
Let's do secondary.
Entering the secondary exit, you find that this stairwell is actually much cleaner and actually semi-lit compared to the other ones and the rest of the building. You can go down all 4 floors if you choose to, or you may stop at each floor, or keeping in mind that the warden vendors are on odd number floors, you may attempt to find another warden vendor. These may be done in any order, of course.
Stop on 29.
Yeah, maybe I won't lose an arm this time.
As you move on to floor 29, you'll find that there are no hallways, there are no walls. It is literally a single room, which takes up the entire span from where you enter all the way to the other side where the other exit would be. It is full of cubicles. In the center of these cubicles is some kind of statue of a person. And as Spider's headlamp kind of crosses in front of it, you realize that it is not a person, but the giant bobblehead of the warden vendor. You'll have to make your way on top of the cubicles to get to it, but in front of it at least is some kind of solid platform to stand upon. The cubicles are reinforced and made of some kind of thick metal so that you can walk single file and foot in front of foot if you have the balance.
Well, just another type of prison within the prison, huh?
Yep. Just more Dunder Mifflin than Sing Sing.
So we're going over it?
Looks like.
You
How's
both do
your
your
balance, Lefty?
I'm not sure. We'll find out, I suppose.
There are small steps. There are small steps that allow you to get up on top of the cubicles. And once you do so, there will be a click from the floor below, and it will shift slightly. As it does so, it'll slide back, revealing a grating that covers the whole floor. You can see that there is about 6 inches beneath what you thought was the floor itself, and where the actual floor is beneath this grating. This 6 inches is full of very hot metal slag, it would seem. It begins to quickly heat the grates as you focus your balance in.
Who the fuck designed this place?
Someone who worked in an office building too long. I had a job as a file clerk once. Now, this looks like something that could have come out of my head.
Cubicle jobs and too much Xbox.
You do your best to avoid harm as you make your way towards the Warden vendor.
$16.
Very nice.
14.
Very nice again. Things are going a lot better. As you make your way towards the Warden vendor, Spider, you make it to the platform easily. As you settle in front of it, it will rise up. And its eyes, as before, will light up as it kind of topples and waves, waiting for Audrey to reach you. Audrey, you'll make your way towards the platform as well, but for a moment lose your footing, and as you slip, one foot will dip down, and the bottom of your foot will hit the heated grating before you can pull it back up. It will melt the bottom of your boot, and though you can feel the intense heat, it doesn't reach your foot, and you are unharmed as you climb up onto the platform next to Spider. Now that you're both on the platform, the cubicles will also make that strange clicking sound, and then retract back to form along the walls in a border, leaving just the center platform, the Warden vendor, and the boiling grate beneath you. Hello! Congratulations on finding another Warden vendor. Preparing. There'll be a sudden whirring inside of its chest, and then it will click on. You have the choice of 3 items in this Warden vendor. The first item is a secondary flak jacket. The second item is a rocket-propelled grenade attachment. The third item is a light machine gun, 50 caliber.
If we're going Warden hunting, we probably want the RPG. But I'm open to discussion.
It's an attachment. Do we have the weapon that it attaches to?
It does not look like it'll attach to your AR for the rails that it has, but that does not mean that Silver Team does not have the weapon that it can attach to.
Well, they've also got other RPGs. An SMG gives Audrey a little more potent firepower. Or the flak jacket. I could use some. Well, I mean, I've got the salamander skin, so I mean, the lizard poncho.
I was saying there's also the 50 cal Browning light machine gun it's offering. I guess it's not a light machine gun, it's just a full machine gun.
I meant that, not the. Would that be something you could use?
It's too big, huh?
Yeah.
I don't think I could will it with one arm.
It offers you the weapon, but it does not tell you how you will be able to utilize it at this time. Choices must be made first.
Well, if we meet the rest of the team, maybe they can use the 50 cal.
Yeah. 50 cal would likely help against the salamander, and I can, at least I guess, shoulder the AR-15.
Yeah, I guess let's take that. Big gun.
The 50 caliber Browning machine gun has been chosen. It'll light up its chest and then retract its body back into the head as it sinks down. The 50 caliber BMG has been released on the 26th floor in its stationary mount. It can be unlocked by Gold and Silver Team. Gold and Silver Team now has control of the 26th floor. All access is sealed for those without gold key cards. Additional gold key cards have been distributed across all floors. Good luck, Dream Team.
26th, not 28th.
As the announcement finishes, the floor will seal itself back, allowing you to climb down and make your way out of the room.
So the 50 cal is in a stationary mount here or
On floor 26.
on floor 26?
Oh,
Cool.
okay.
Gotcha.
You also now have complete control of floor 26 until another team gains access and eliminates you.
Cool. Let's keep heading down that alternate stairwell.
You think the other team is smart enough to know to meet us there? Or do we need to stop off and find them?
Let's hit 28 first.
You reach the door for floor 28. Who wants to enter first?
I'll go
I
quiet,
don't like that question, but okay.
clicking off my headlamp and looking in.
As you click off your headlamp and look in, there's a strobe of light that flashes in your face, and 2 rounds hit your armor in the right shoulder, knocking you back. Your instincts definitely not kicking in prior to the rounds going off. Though it hurts, you are luckily not injured, just thrown back a bit.
Usually faster than that.
You think that's one of the Warden's team guys, or do you think that's
Identify yourselves. Who's out there?
I was going to say they didn't identify themselves, but
You'll kind of hear boots moving 4 feet, moving closer to the door, but almost in a tactical maneuver.
we're a gold team or gold silver, I guess now.
The strobing will continue for a moment from the other side of the door and then click off. Let me see your band. Put your arms through.
I've seen Green Room. Fuck off.
How else are we supposed to know if you're telling us the truth or not? Or I guess, hold on.
How do we know you're not cops? I mean, the balance of trust ain't exactly uneven here, asshole.
We're going to send our drone out there.
Cool.
Send your
Basketball.
drone to do stuff?
Good to
QB
know.
903 will extend its arms and shrug at you again, Audrey.
QB, you've been
You
holding out on us.
asshole.
You never asked. A drone pretty much identical to QB will float out through the half-open door, looking at the two of you, and then flash a picture before moving back in. Oh, I hate that guy, QB will say. Oh, all right, we're coming out there.
Howdy.
The door will slowly open, and the 2 members of Silver Team will come out. Though you've already been given their names, there's no real way to differentiate between them because of the heavy gear that they have on, which obscures much of their body beneath plating and armor. They also wear full helmets that are similar to almost motorcycle helmets. The visor is blacked out, but you can clearly see a silver arm ring on their left arm and a gold on their right, in reverse contrast to your own.
Okay, so since I can't tell which one's Roddy, which one's Jamie, you're motherfucker number 1, you're motherfucker number 2. Cool?
Good enough. The slightly taller one will say.
You're a little short for a motherfucker, aren't you?
Tall one's motherfucker number 2. So, floor 26.
Yeah, how did you manage to get a machine gun and an entire floor?
I got my ways, baby.
Hmm. You'll see him strangely put off for a moment and then kind of nod abruptly. They both have their RPGs positioned across their back, and the rest of their webbing seems to be outfitted quite a bit more than what was expressed to you by the Warden.
You've been busy.
They both have M4s. One of them does have a RPG attachment. The other one does not. They also seem to have gotten additional sights for them at some point, sidearms and several grenades attached to their webbing, outfitting them for quite a bit of combat, it would seem.
So, way I figure it, either we've got a bunch of time to rest, take watches, do what we need to do on floor 26, or a bunch of something is about to come our way on floor 26, which means we're going to be eliminating a lot of the competition, potentially dangers, and we've got yellow shit, and which is seriously fucking extra, by the way, god damn, and the browning.
How long have you two been here? If you think this is extra.
Apparently not long. We haven't got good yet. Excuse us.
No, I don't know that anyone can get good. I think by our mark, we've been here 3 days. He'll look at Jamie, who will kind of just nod and continue to remain quiet.
He's got an invisible keycard arm.
They will both suddenly sharply turn their heads to look at Audrey, and then
Hold
down
it.
at the space where her arm isn't.
Hold it
Please
up.
tell me it's still dripping blood.
It is. You'll see Jamie's finger kind of shake a little bit above the trigger guard of her M4.
Ooh, is Jamie short or tall?
She's the shorter. She'll continue to focus on Audrey's invisible arm and the blood dripping from it. You haven't been in any rooms with eyes, have you?
Nope.
What? Wait. Why the question? Why that question? What do eyes have to do with anything?
Maybe you should just answer her question first. I think that would be best for everyone involved here.
Well, we were in a floor with the Watcher.
And you lived. It didn't track you.
Not unless it's like right behind me. Oh god!
It was after Green Team, so
The Watcher, from what we've been able to study of it, has an ability to detect humans around it, regardless of team or hiding place and location. It is strange that you made it off the floor. It is stranger that you have been aided in such a way as to have some kind of invisible supernatural aid. He says this in such a measured way that it's clear he is contemplating something. And both of them are standing quite rigid, but also in bladed off stances to the two of you.
To be fair, we were never at any kind of real proximity to the thing.
and we found a restroom. Well, not a bathroom, but like, one of those rooms where you can go and rest for a while.
Anybody seen a bathroom?
I wouldn't go in bathrooms.
Noted. I mean, it's a habit I formed a long time ago, just,
If the Watcher let you go and you had access to a red room, and things are escalating quicker than we anticipated. So yes, I think we should move down to floor 26.
Just how not new are you?
These things come in cycles, and some of us choose to stay for the next cycle.
Good to know. Shall we?
By all means.
They'll kind of begin leading the way down the stairs as the taller one continues talking. If you survive through the first cycle, but they are unable to find you, you're automatically opted into the second cycle, given leeway from failing the first cycle. Alternatively, if the team that finds you is eliminated, they also allow you to stay. They only send 4 guards to locate you. The rest of the time is surviving the 6 months in between cycles and hoping that the salamanders or whatever else dwells here doesn't get you first.
In this slam, 6 months.
Yes. Without the warden's aid. You only get aided during the 5-day cycles. That's why we are trying to be quick. And they are indeed moving rapidly down the staircases.
Imagine fucking pace.
So you're trying to move quickly. What if I told you I had seen an eye, and I think it was a portal?
They will both stop abruptly halfway down the next staircase. That would have been something I would have liked to know before we started down to the 26th floor.
Yeah, well, balance of trust and all that shit.
Yeah, there's a gem missing out of it. The Watcher has it.
Yes. I know.
So, Browning.
You'll seem to be deeply thinking on it. The door is the safer exit. I have only seen one person open the gateway. To go through it is quite jarring to see. And I did not follow.
You didn't get any indication of what was on the other side when it opened?
The Watcher was not here before it opened. I and someone close to me opened it, and one of them, they went through, and the Watcher came out.
Okay, so as we're continuing, can we like to keep moving? Has the or a Watcher been released before, and have you seen one taken down?
I have not. This is the first Watcher who's been released in this couple of cycles that I have been in. Prior to this, the rupee was held by the Warden themselves, which is in itself a strange matter.
Kind of notice.
If we want to kill the Watcher, we will need a pretty astute plan, especially if we're going to hold out on the floor that you have earned. The Warden has a way of equipping other prisoners for siege warfare when floors are assigned, and it could add an extra burden onto us.
So would it be a better call just to avoid that floor entirely? I mean, if staying stationary is a bad idea, what's your estimation? You think we can go ahead and take the Watcher with what we've got? I mean, I'm open to fucking suggestions, man. I'm brand new here.
Jamie and his name was Rodrigo, right? Roddy. They will look at each other for a moment. It may be better, if we're going to try and fight the Watcher, it may be better to hunt it and then move to the 26th floor.
Cool. I mean, I put on an air of cool professionalism, but that also means I listen to people who know more than I do.
We will need to get the equipment off of William's body. We'll have to go back up to the 28th floor.
Was Williams your other partner?
You could say that. We had a falling out. You'll start moving back up the stairs.
Mind if I ask about what? Just so, I can avoid that touchy subject.
He fell there out.
He had found a key and sought to prevent us from knowing about it, and planned to move through without us as well.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's a killable offense. Good call.
I have, just so you know, I have a key too.
That is good to know. That makes 2 of the 4. If we don't go through this portal, of course. You'll quickly move back onto the 28th floor, and opening the door and being able to see inside, you'll see an equally geared body right next to the door. Their head is leaned back and their helmet is removed. They appear to be a middle-aged, bald, Caucasian man. His throat completely opened and butterflied by some kind of sharp hunting knife that you can see tucked into the side of Jamie's boot.
The late Williams?
Yeah.
Cool.
Gear up. Take what you want. We'll keep watch.
Loot.
If both of you want to loot, go ahead and investigate. They will take up security positions, one at the door, one facing the other hallway.
Rolled a 2, so that's all you.
13.
Snake eyes.
A lot of William's equipment is damaged. He didn't seem to take very good care of it. You do manage to recover his M4, an additional 60 5.56 rounds for it. You also are now awarded with the grenade attachment because there is one attached to it, but there are no shells for it. This has a red dot sight, but it does not magnify. You are also able to pick up the helmet if you want, which is laying beside the body, though a bit bloody. It is undamaged. You can get the leg plating of the armor, as the top is, like I said, unkempt. There's also another walkie-talkie radio. You can see that Roddy and Jamie both have likewise radios attached to their vests.
I'll hand Audrey the walkie-talkie, and I will strap on the leg armor.
So I already have a little radio thing,
Gotcha.
right, that I got from them.
Well, right. So yeah, I'll take the walkie-talkie, but I'm turning it off.
Yeah.
All right. And Audrey, you got a 2? I just double check. You look at the body and there doesn't seem to be anything of interest. I'm not going to penalize.
You look and then you just get a cut on some of his gear or something.
You look at the body trying to loot, and then a few minutes later realize you've been zoned out.
God, I fucking feel that.
You are now fully geared. We have 10 minutes remaining. To save time, we're going to call it here. But the way we're going to do it is that once you are both geared, Roddy and Jamie will make sure that your equipment is ready to go. And then helping Audrey to get geared up in some additional armor, so you can add some more flak to your stuff. They will begin moving back up to floor 30. They seem to be able to track the Warden by the vibrations of its footsteps from how long they've been here. They position themselves on either side of the emergency exit door that will lead onto floor 30, preparing for an entry. Allow the 2 of you to get in position, and then we'll close. And for episode 3, we'll open the door and start our mini boss fight.
Please be Meg.
So with that said, thank you everyone who tuned in and listened. I hope that you enjoyed the show tonight. I know that it had some hiccups in the beginning, but at least in my opinion, it ran a lot smoother. Thank you, Ray, who's hiding somewhere in the
Ray,
void,
you're awesome.
producing this all for us. Yeah, thank you for everyone who tuned in. Please tune in on Friday. We have shifted. So Marlo is now the main host for Beyond the Nightmare. So as long as everything is flowing good with that, her and I will be back on Friday night to review the first 3 Hellraiser films, which will be fun. Also, look out for Mork Borg. We did our 0 session. It was amazing. I just want to play Mork Borg. So, and we're also working on Undying. Nico, is that right?
Yeah, Magpie Games, diceless vampire game. Very much inspired by original World of Darkness, so World of Darkness rather than Chronicles of Darkness. That's very much the vibe it gives. It has some interesting mechanics. Play moves between nightly, when some shit is going down, and you play night by night, and then after that's done, you go into downtime where like years to centuries are covered, where it's kind of the status quo, and then the next bullshit hits and you go to nightly play. So yeah, it looks pretty cool.
I'm really excited to play it for sure, but I'm a huge World of Darkness fan. And I don't think Marlo, you're not going to be in that one, right?
No, I mean, we hadn't really. I wasn't.
We'll
I hadn't
figure it out.
committed either way. Put it that way.
Okay, well, TBD.
Yeah, TBD.
Line up to be decided.
The reason I asked is because I will also do potential casting call. I think Nico wanted 2 more players. So if anyone is interested in playing Undying with us, we will provide documentation, help you get all set up for that show. All of our shows are 10 episodes arcs. You do not have to return for other seasons or stay for the whole 10 episodes. So if interested, please contact us. Twitter, Discord, or transientpresents@gmail.com. Also, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/transientpresents. There's lots of good tiers on there, good ways to support us and get some cool stuff out of it. Outside of that, let's go reverse order. Nico, you want to throw any plugs or anything in before we head out?
Just stuff that's in the works. You know, we've got the Undying game coming up. We've got Mork Borg happening soon. Check us out. I'm good otherwise.
Alrighty, Marlo, you got anything you want to plug?
I'm excited to be hosting Beyond the Nightmare for sure, and I'll be excited to see Morkborg streamed for you lovely folks. And I'm gonna be watching Undying even if I'm not a part of it. So
Oh, it's gonna be fun. I'm basing my character off of Novak from Blade 2. It's gonna be awesome. Outside of that, also look out for Weeping Horizon, our audio drama that we're working on. You will get that out. So yeah, stay tuned for all of our nice things. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. You know, I say that, and then I'm like, oh yeah, Ray's decides when we go offline.
There she